The sun is hiding and the magpie is casting. Greetings and welcome to all my viewers across the world. Coming in for you today, we have a 1v1 battle featuring the Soviet forces of Cheese. Good name, good name. I wonder if he plays StarCraft. Because you can't really cheese in Company of Heroes, but yeah, that would be a nice little double bluff in StarCraft. And representing the Axis forces, playing as Overcommand, we have GentleFox. Who has chosen his commander straight away. He's gone for the Fortifications Doctrine, which this is actually one which I don't yet have. I have most of the commanders, but let's take a closer look. This guy gets the MG34 heavy machine gun team. That's pretty cool and does fill a gap in the Overcommand lineup. For the heavy fortifications, yeah, useful. He gets field defenses, which is basically the bunkers from the Wehrmacht. So that's pretty cool. Pack 43 emplacement can be very powerful if your opponent doesn't have the correct call-ins to deal with it. And zeroing artillery, which, let's see here, automatically attacks visible enemy units in the target area. Artillery rate of fire wraps up the longer the target is visible. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. I have to see if he uses it. How much munitions does it cost? 300 munitions. Wow. That is more expensive than I was thinking. So, yeah, that's probably quite good, I'm guessing. Meanwhile, Cheese has chosen himself Guard Rifle Combined Arms Tactics, which gives him hit the dirt, making his conscripts a little bit more durable by giving them the ability to like get down. I think it's basically they just can voluntarily suppress themselves, so they get the damage reduction and the effects of suppression. He gets Guards Rifle Infantry, which are a useful squad. The PTRS, having recently been buffed, is now quite good for plinking away at even medium armor. The Conscript Assault Package upgrade, which I'm always thankful to have when I play as Soviets, turns your conscripts into slightly more of a I don't know, punchy squad in the mid and late game. And he also has the ML20 152mm gun howitzer, which I see from time to time, and it can be pretty good. I'm still, my mind isn't really made up about this unit, and I hope he tries to use it so we get to see it. And finally, the IL-2 Sturmvik attack, which is just a good munitions dump, comes in, does some damage. It's pretty cool. I believe it costs 180 here. So both teams just fanning out across the map. The map here is Stalingrad. This is a pretty close and brutal map, as you can see as I just scroll around the terrain. There's a lot of opportunities for true sight to come into play, a lot of opportunities for machine guns and other suppression mechanics to be very potent. Seems that the Russian player here has gone for tier 1, which I'm seeing as being like the most popular choice when you're playing against Overcommand. He's got some scout car here, which he's going to load up some guys, do some drive-bys with. And these Storm Pioneers actually getting a squad wipe on some engineers. So an early blow dealt here by GentleFox. Cheese going to have to think about, I don't know, maybe replacing that squad as the game goes on, but that's just something you never want to happen at the 2 minutes 50 mark or whatever it was. Losing a squad, never that great. And it seems that GentleFox favours the double Storm Pioneer style of Overcommand play here. That may be in response to this map, which I think favours that too. Plenty of opportunities to hide, plenty of ways to get close to your targets, which obviously plays to the strengths of the Storm Pioneer squad. I don't know. Well, let's keep an eye on this scout car. I think that the scout car drive-by technique. I mean, obviously he'll get a flamer on these guys. I think that that's kind of slightly better, maybe on open maps. I'm not sure. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And let's see. Yeah, here we go. Oh wow, they're able to smash through sandbags. Oh, and there's the flamer upgrade. And these Volks. Oh. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the war. And these Volks can't stand the heat. Cheese. I think this is about the cheesiest that you can open with Soviets, getting the old Flamer Scout car. So I think Cheese living up to his name here, bringing out the fromage. A little bit of camembert being unleashed here onto the Volksgrenadiers. And well, maybe a sort of, it is quite a spicy, hot cheese, you know, owing to the flamethrower. So maybe a Mexicana chili cheese, something like that. The cheese of choice here, the fromage of favour for the Soviet player. Oh, and the Storm Pioneers getting another decent ambush, able to attack from heavy cover as a second squad of Storm Pioneers wrapping around to the south, and that's going to force a pullback, which is conducted in good time by Cheese. And let's see if the scout car is going to come in to try and roast up some of these infantry. And of course, you know what? It doesn't. It doesn't have to. It can sit back and just use the machine guns mounted on the scout car. And I'm terribly sorry, dear viewers. Just bear with me a second. I just got a message from a friend. I better explain to him that I am mid-cast. Hey, man. Sorry about that. The Obercommando player able to secure 2 of the 3 victory points, taking an early points lead. Actually, you know what? And the Soviet player just kind of poking. Cheese seeing what he can get. Where's that flame car gone? Ah, I see. It's just capping the top left. Yeah, because fuel points. An MG34 team going to cram into this building, and a Shrek. It seems like GentleFox knows what's up. Cheese, man, you got to move this scout car. Oh, the Panzer Shrek's reloaded. That is going to be a dead scout car. Boom. So let's see what his attention was on. His attention was on microing these forces, which are having to fall back. Did the engineers survive that? Yeah, they did. So that's not so awful. But a nice early game swing there for GentleFox, who's able to take, I would say, the lead. I mean, he's holding the most important area of the map, which is pretty much like this sector here. I mean, like, the rest of the map is good, it gives good resources, but there's only 1 victory point in it. So, oh, and he's also deployed his medical HQ in a good position. See, I normally veto this map because I just don't like it. It doesn't really play to my style. I don't know why, I just always have a hard time on it, but watching how GentleFox approaches it, and I'm going to go ahead and say that he's clearly a player who knows what he's doing. I mean, he wasn't flustered by this Flamer Scout car. He got the appropriate counters and dealt with it. Okay, Cheese didn't really micro it, and he really should have done. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I can learn a little bit from watching Fox here. I can hear guard squads. That was the sound of a PTRS in the distance. And all these Storm Pioneers don't want to. I guess they're just going to decap this point and run, I'm going to guess. That seems like a good choice. And I reckon GentleFox is on top of this. Yeah, there we go. Yep, just decap the point and fall back. Yeah. Cool. Look at that. See, it's like I know what I'm casting. It's like I actually know anything about this game. Hey, who am I kidding? I totally do. I'm really good at this. Oh, wow. Let's take a look at these bulletins here. He's got, the Maxim has 4% increased rate of fire, has 4% increased rate of fire, has 4% increased rate of fire. Do those stack? Wow. Let's see if back at home is Cheese going to build the Tech 2? No, he's decided not to bother with that, so not going to get Maxims anytime soon. Instead, going straight for Tech 3. And I wonder if we're going to see the first 75 fuel of his spent on the Suchka. I think a good choice on this map. It's indirect fire and HE shell, able to deal with infantry squads even at range, and it'll also provide him a nice little anti-tank piece for when GentleFox decides to commit his fuel to some sort of choice of armour. For now, though, setting up his flak half-track to cover the top left fuel point and victory point, which seems pretty good. As Cheese pushing through mid with a Penal Legion here with a flamethrower upgrade. And that'll be forced back. There's an MG34 to provide the suppression. And they're not going to want to walk forwards into Storm Pioneers either, so yeah, we'll see them falling back. Some Volksgrenadiers coming for the wraparound here. And, not really going to achieve a lot. Volksgrenadiers, not a high DPS squad at the best of times. If we take a look at the forces rosters, 2 squads of Volks, 2 squads of Storm Pioneers, and an MG34, the roster for GentleFox. While opposing it is, so we've got 2 Penals, 2 Engineers, and a squad of Guards as we move into the 8.5 minute mark. So both forces, I mean, there was a squad wipe early in the game, but there have been no massive force swings going on. And, sorry, what do casters do when they have to sneeze? Whoa. I'm going to mute the mic. Sorry about that. So, I think he probably wants to pull these. Oh, good grenade. That's going to be a fantastic grenade. Yep. That was very good. That was a good grenade. I'm always very hesitant to use grenades when I play as Overcommand. Oh, wow, and a flanking flamethrower going to force the fallback on this MG34. Fair enough. The forward fallback point having been researched here, allowing these units to not have to travel so far, they can get back in the fight much quicker, so the pressure can really be put on. And if you look at the minimap, this is just a really good defensive network. You know, I mean, he controls this street, well, he doesn't control it, but he can use this street and this street very easily to command these 2 victory points, while the flak half-track here secures his flank. So if I was Cheese, I mean, just looking at the minimap, and I know this isn't information which he has because he has fog of war all over the place, but it looks like if he could just go for a kind of right hook down this half of the map, he could flank in and hit this medical building, and that would be quite a setback. If he was to get in there with 2 penal squads, get the 2 satchel charges down, finish it off with a little bit of flamethrower fire, and maybe a Zis gun or a Suchka barrage. In fact, he's got a T-70, so you know that could be what completes the kill on that.
So yeah, I don't know. I always look for aggressive plays. I quite like pushing and putting on pressure. That's my favourite way to play. Oh wow, this T-70 probably going to get the squad wipe. Yep. And there goes a 2-star veteran squad of Storm Pioneers for GentleFox. That will be frustrating for him, but he comes in with the Shrek squad of Fox here. That's going to force the T-70 back. A good hit there. And microed well. The MG34 in a great position. Now these folks are going to have to hold tight here, which they don't really want to do. They've got to stay in between these squads and the MG34, but they've both got flamers, so we're going to see some burning Volks here. Or are we? Or are we? Is the MG34 cutting them down? And a squad wipe on the Penal Battalion, which had a flamethrower and some veterancy. Cheese there. I thought he could do it. He probably thought he could do it. Turns out he couldn't. And this is a squad that needs to get out. Oh, oof, a danger of losing a very vetted squad there with a Panzerschreck. Obersoldaten now joining the fray, and that's going to provide a massive swing because the it's still pretty much an infantry game at the moment. And Obersoldaten, yeah, turns out they're pretty good against infantry. We see these. Oh my God! Even in the heavy cover, these guards are just getting mowed down. The MG34, chaka chaka chaka. Yeah, it ain't pretty, but it's reliable. And the T-70 just coming in to get a little bit of veterancy where it can. The Obersoldaten being forced back. As the army of GentleFox now reinforced, ready to come back out. 2 Panzerschreck squads now, probably ready to go and hunt that T-70. We'll see what he decides to commit his fuel up in. He's now up to nearly 90 fuel. He's got the flak half-track building, so he's got options there for the Panzer IV or the Panther. He's also got the medical building, so he could get a Jagdpanzer. Looking at the map, I'd say this is actually quite a good map for a Panzer IV. The Panzer IV is quite versatile. It's got higher DPS against infantry than the Panther. The turret turns nice and quickly, and it's pretty sprightly in its tracks. So yeah, I think with good micro, a Panzer IV could be a really good choice on this map. Or, you know, I mean, the Panther's a solid unit. The Panther's a late-game unit in every sense of the word, in every sense of the phrase even. So he might just hold on for the extra 40-odd fuel to get that Panther. I might gambit and go for the Panzer IV. It also vets up a lot faster, the Panzer IV, and I don't know. I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but I think I'm pretty good at microing those things. I normally get them up to 4-star, at least. I can't remember the last time I didn't get one up to 4-star, but then again, I'm not being match made against opponents of this caliber, so what can I possibly, what do I know? The T-70 finally getting caught out by a Shrek round in the middle of the map. And GentleFox just making a bit of a land grab, trying to grab as many points as possible. Is he going to be capturing this? Yeah, he is still going to be capturing it, just these 2 guys just inside the line here. So that's all good. And, oh, a flamethrower squad moving into position. Let's get a troop's eye view as they, oops, no, fall back. I was going to say, they don't really want to, I was going to say, let's get a troop's eye view as they get mowed down by Obersoldaten, but cheese on top of it and hits the fallback button. If we look at the veterancy, you can see that this has kind of been a bit of a one-sided story. A lot of stars over the Obersoldaten army, not so many here for the Soviets, and yeah, sure, they've got 3 flamethrower squads, but MG34s and Obersoldaten kind of deal with flamethrowers, you know, like you're really not getting the value for munitions that you were against a squad which doesn't, against a force which doesn't have MG34s and Obersoldaten. So I think he's going to need to get some more anti-infantry. Yeah, the T-70's good, but the Panzerschrecks kind of keep that at bay as well. So I was talking earlier about the option of a Suchka for the Russian forces. I mean, that's still an option, but he's miles away in terms of fuel, and his fuel income, only 1/3 of the overcommands. So Chi's actually in a little bit of a situation here. He's going to have to make do with the units he's got, which aren't ideal for some time. And this T-70, the second one now, coming out. I think I would have bought a Suchka. I think I would have tried to plonk my Suchka like, I don't know, maybe here, or here isn't so bad. Somewhere with nice clean open lines of sight, but also good barrage opportunities. And I would have started in fact, you know what else is tempting? Throwing down the tier 2 building, getting out a couple of Maxims, because that pretty much counters everything the Overcommand player has. Getting a couple of Maxims, maybe even a couple of Zisses. I suppose he doesn't really have the munitions to make use of the Zis barrage ability. He's probably buying conscript assault package upgrades on his... Actually, wait, he doesn't have any conscripts. So he's just mainly spending his munitions on flamers.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
Yeah, so maybe throw down the tier 2 building, get some Maxims out into the mix. Could be interesting. Oh dear, this is the T-70 that doesn't want to be here. There's a 5-star squad of Volks who's going to get a Shrek into the rear.
Guard rifle infantry squads are now being called to fight for the motherland.
And the T-70 is going to limp away with 1-star veterancy and 2 kills to its name. And Chi's now making a little bit of that right hook. This is definitely the weaker flank for GentleFox. All his force is mainly concentrated on the sort of top 2/3 of the map. He doesn't really want to drag any down to the bottom 2/3. Oh, garrisoning this building. Pretty good choice. and the Flamer squad coming in. That's going to force the Obersoldaten to hop over this wall and get some cover to get them to stop capping this point. They lose another man, so that'll be a fallback soon. The Flamer, is he going to go after the Obersoldaten or the Vogs? It looks like he's content to flame the Vogs. And I kind of like that. If he repairs this T-70 in a hurry, he could then follow that up and try and get a squad wipe, but it's not going to be repaired in time, I don't think. The repair rate on the Russian engineers, unfortunately, joint slowest in the game. And there's, you know, it's not their fault. It's just how the game's built and balanced, I suppose. So the score now almost a 200-point difference between the two teams. GentleFox has managed to entrench himself, and here does come the Panzer Force. So a man after my own heart here. He's clearly been watching my replays, studying my style, learning from the best. Cracks out the Panzer Force, and yeah, the Guards infantry will be able to plink some damage and vet up quite quick against it, but the rest of the forces of Cheese are not really going to answer it so well. And as it moves in here, has he bought the machine gun for it? Yes, he has. And as soon as that arrives, wow, even before that arrives, we're going to see a GG from the Russian player. And that's going to be the end of that game. So I don't think that Cheese was out of that game, but I think that he was never ahead, and that's the kind of game which can just wear you down mentally. And then when the Panzer IV comes in, I mean, he doesn't have a Zis gun, he doesn't have any anti-armor to speak of. I think that the second T-70 really should have been a Suchka, and I still don't think that that would have been flawless. He would have had to babysit it with Guards infantry and things like that, because obviously a Panzer IV can just rush down the Suchka, get behind it, get into its side and destroy it. But I still think he should have grabbed that Suchka, and I think he maybe should have considered throwing down the Tier 2 building for Maxims and Zisses, because, yeah, I mean, the fuel was always going to be spent on something for GentleFox, and there's no answers forthcoming at the moment from the Soviet team. So, yeah, an interesting battle on a good map there. It's nice to see Obercommando doing well on a map which traditionally I found very difficult playing as them. I think I'll be utilising this spot here if I spawn on this side of the map, playing as Obercommando, like GentleFox has done here, and focusing my forces as he has on the top 2/3 of the map up to the halfway point, and that seems to be pretty valid. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. As ever, if you have any comments or feedback, please do leave a comment down below, and I'll be much appreciated. Yeah, this is Magpie842 signing off.